Hello everyone. Today I am picking a generic Euro cylinder. This is one that I got from Joe Picks. It's a pretty twisted little keyway there, but not bad. Almost harder to get it into the vise than it is to try and pick. Okay. Today I'm using my tensioner that tapers, doing bottom of the keyway with this. All right, and I'm using the multi-pick that kind of looks like a lunatic. I don't remember the number on it. V. I don't know. Okay, now we got our false set. Not really feeling any counter rotation, so getting really small counter rotation clicks. Touch the pin really light. Okay. Yeah, I touched the pin really light and I got some movement, and then I touched another pin really lightly. So they were just kind of like very teetering on that shear line, a couple of them. So I do have a key, but let's see what it's going to take to get this thing gutted. Lock it up. I probably can't lock it up. Yeah, I can. So it's kind of wanting to pop loose, but it's kind of loose on this side, and it's spinning, so that makes it fun. Missed the end. There we go. It went back in. Yes, welcome to the circus of Chris. Alright, I need something to hold the other side, and I can just pry it back like I usually do with the two picks. Yes, that's what I thought. It's one of those that kind of folds open, and it's eventually going to break. And I don't know where to get new ones of those. So if anybody has a place in the US, because I opened another Euro yesterday, and it had these C-clips that just kind of end up prying open. If anybody knows where to get them in the US, please comment below, let me know. I have a feeling I'm going to need to get a couple. First time really dealing with these types of Euros that have those clips. I'm used to a standard C-clip, and I might be able to just go to Ace and get a regular C-clip that'll fit that. So I might end up doing that. We'll see. All right. Well, you'd think I'd have learned my lesson by now, but I'm not going to use a shim. It's a standard lock. Another lock, I did the pack lock 4A, and I didn't use a shim, and I had a little bit of issues. I learned a lot about the core with that one. All right, so these are long key pins. That is a super long key pin on number 2. Wow, they're all standard key pins. I'm expecting on the top 6 pins. On the top, I'm expecting to see 3 spools and 3 standards, just by the way it picked. So, see how good my guess is. One time I thought I had serrated and I had all standards, so we'll see how my guess is. Start on the front here. Front number 1. I'm guessing number 1 and number 2 are going to be standard pins. No, I have a spool on number 2. I thought number 2 was going to be a... I'm wondering if maybe it didn't register. So that actually looks like a key pin on number 3. Take a closer look at that. Maybe it's something else. That's interesting. But I would have thought maybe it just doesn't go in. Oh, that's a tall pin. That's probably why. So it probably never really acted like a spool. What is... Okay, that's a different pin there. Like a tall T-pin. That is interesting. And another one. So that does make sense to what I felt on those, because I was in a deep false set, and those 3 just had to be tipped up. There was never. I was expecting counter rotation, and never got it. But I would have thought that one was no. The last 3 I pushed down. So I thought I had 2 spools, but again, I was way wrong. They did go into a deep false set. That's probably why I never really felt anything, and it confused me. I've never encountered a pin like that in a factory lock. That's interesting. That's a fun little lock, for sure. All right, and then just organize the... So obviously the T-pins are going to act like a spool. They're going to step down. You're going to get into a deep false set. But that's why when I went along those last 3, all I had to do was kind of tip them up out of the way. And they're slightly tapered on the ends. But once they hit the shear line, I am assuming once that tapered portion hits the shear line, it just slides itself out of the way. And then, sorry, my eyes are not good this morning. Kind of a little blurry. So let me... You see, okay, so that one's kind of like a really small version of the same thing. Oh, back out just a little bit. Yeah, so it's kind of a small version of the same type of pin. It's just got a little nub on the end, just enough to be annoying. Oh, okay, so those are, now I'm looking at it up close. So those are, let me see if I got it in focus here. Sorry. So it is a tapered pin. But once I got them out of that, once I got them out of the groove there and onto the taper, they seem to go pretty easy. So, that is interesting. So if I reflect back, I did have a small skip, but I thought that was just coming off of the taper there, but it was skipping out of that serration on there. So those are really cool pins for for factory pins. A really nice deep, try to get a hold of this so you can see, but a nice deep spool there, a long spool. And then number one is, what is number one? It's just a standard, yeah. So just a little nub on that one, and then these are probably the most interesting part about the lock that I encountered here, because yeah, they did have a little bit of a click, like it was coming, but it was just a very small counter rotation, so that I was not expecting. I was expecting maybe a shallow spool, but there was a deep falset, so that really, now it makes sense seeing it. But then look how long. I'm gonna put that key pin next to, let's see, this is the shortest key pin, so that is a super long key pin there, and this one's the shortest one, but it's still find something to compare to. So this is a standard couple of standard key pins here, but they're kind of thinner pins, and just super long key pin. I don't know, just thought that was really interesting. And put those back where they go. And that's all I got. Really interesting lock. Let's see, what does this say on the side? Core 2018 TS007 A1. So just a bunch of numbers on it. No brand that I see, but if somebody out there knows what the brand of this lock is, yeah, let me know. That any information would be helpful. But yeah, those are interesting key pins. I'm liking that a lot. So thank you for coming along on this little journey with me today with this lock. Like I said, if you have any further information that you can help me out with on this lock, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.